and he ranked them. First, Bohica.
Boston is now the city of champions. Get used to it. Deal with it. Okay? And until you step up and bring home some hardware, you earn the right to talk the smack. Not just because you're from Cleveland. Okay? Bohica, buddy. That stands for bend over. Here it comes again.
I don't know that was the worst call ever, like Liam Buffalo thinks, but it's on the short list. If I never hear that phrase ever again, it would still be way too soon. The second call on his list of worst calls ever to this program, Larry Brown's crank.
I used to live in San Antonio, and actually when Larry Brown was there, I was out at a workout club, finishing my workout, just got out of the shower, tying up my shoes, and guy comes up to the locker next to me, opens up the door, looks away from my face, drops his towel. I look over, there's a crank right in my face. Larry Brown.
That probably was the worst call ever. Way to go, whoever made that call. Most shocking of all was that you were tying your shoes. There's a crank right in my face, Larry Brown. I mean, that's the worst call ever to this program, and that's saying a lot because there have been a lot of bad calls, been a lot of horrible calls. If that's not the worst call ever, then the third call that Liam Buffalo put on his list is.
I heard you talking about Cal Ripken and his stupid overrated record. Cal Ripken sucks. He's overrated. He was overpaid. He did nothing good. He's an average player at best who had a crappy record because he didn't play that hard. And so everybody thinks he's so great. Wow, he played a bunch of games in a row. Good job there, tough guy. I would pay $1 million just so I could spray that guy in the face with a full mace spray.
There's nothing about that phone call and nothing about what he said that's not completely wrong. In terms of the question to Brett Favre, did the Packers do enough to keep him? He says, whether the people on my floor at work are crushing them. Thanks to Ohio for having B.O. You helped me get Snickers. Blazing KC. Jim, I disagree with that guy's worst call list. The moron who was, quote, one of the star linebackers on his high school team had to be the worst call ever. If not, he's certainly the least intelligent. Wore booze and bud or whatever. Wes in the OC. That was a pretty bad call, I would agree.
Went to this party, there's a lot of booze, a lot of bud, whatever going on, you know. And I got myself in a position where a girl had come up to me, and I was one of the star linebackers on our team. I said to myself, I tell any guy, if I have to rape a girl just to get her into bed or have sex with her or whatever, it's not worth it. And some of these athletes...
It's not? And for the last time, rape is not having sex. Rape is committing a crime. A violent crime. A felonious crime. A you're going to jail for the rest of your life crime. Rape is not sex. It is criminal activity. So I would agree with you. If you have to rape a girl just to get her in bed, it isn't worth it. No matter how much booze and bud or whatever you've had. Dear Jim, great interview with David Padgett. Signed Alex in Louisville.
Thanks for the vine, homie.
You got it, man. What's up?
Just wanted to say great interview with Deion Branch, my fellow U of L alum. Grew up with him, went to classes with him for 4 years. Wanted to say I was proud of him for representing, for bringing it in the bowl.
You know what? He had a great game. He's a good guy. Did you hear that interview?
Oh, absolutely.
You liked it?
Absolutely, Romy.
What'd you like best?
He's just a classy guy. I mean, there's not many like him, and you know, especially going to class with a bunch of other athletes. And I don't want to stereotype anybody, but you know, this guy really just stepped up and really showed what he's about.
I mean, he did, but then you know, I agree, Alex. But then when you get a guy like that on the air, it really comes out the kind of guy that he is. For instance, what did he say that you really liked best that really stood out?
You know, Romy, I can't really point out. I mean, you know, to be honest, I had to step out of the car for a minute, but I'm out here picking up applications around the Elville. But just wanted to say,
my man, the reason you could not point to anything in particular is because he hasn't been on yet, Alex. My favorite thing is when I said to him, "Did you hear the interview?" Absolutely. Absolutely. Brett Favre says, I'm just not up to the challenge anymore. I can play, but I'm not up to the challenge. I can't just show up on Sunday. That's the thing. There's so much that goes into it. You can't just show up and ball on Sunday. If he could, I'm sure he'd stay. It's the meetings, it's the weight work, it's the preparation, it's the all-out commitment, it's the immersion. There's so much pressure on that guy and so much of a burden that if he can't totally commit to it, there's no way he can go in there. You can't just show up on Sunday. He was asked about having his career end on that pick against the Giants. Everybody's sending their emails on the worst calls ever. I will reset some of this. Dear Jay Stu, you might want to lay off of charge bars or else you're going to end up looking like me. Signed T-Raj. Clay in H-Town. I got a question, Clay. Couldn't Travis just turn to Jason, who's 5 feet away from him, and just tell him that without going to the trouble of emailing me on the program? Why would he send me that email, Clay? He could look right at him. He's 5 feet. He's 2 chairs away from him and just tell him that. Dear Jimmy Crackhorn, I don't care if LeBron leaves C-Town. Signed, the insecure person in a relationship that says, I don't care, as a defense mechanism. Murph in Akron, U.S. American, wore David Faraday beating the hell out of Tom Cruise for exercise.
Well, beating the crap out of Tom Cruise would be exercise, and it would certainly make me feel better if I were depressed. You know, that's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I believe he's apologized for that remark, but that's insanity in itself.
David Paget next hour. That was David Faraday saying that beating the hell out of Tom Cruise would be exercise. All right, don't go anywhere. Phone call is coming up next.